Our top story today from thegatewaypundit.com. The New York Times launched an all-out assault on conservative media, directly targeting Tucker Carlson, Tim Pool, Ben Shapiro, and now even the Gateway Pundit in an attempt to cancel all of us and ban us from the internet right before the 2024 election. We're covering this story and so much more here on the Gateway Pundit's Week in Review. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and this is the Gateway Pundit's Week in Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours. The show is brought to you by MyPillow. Don't forget to pick up a MyPillow for only $14.88 using promo code Elijah at MyPillow.com. Our top story today has everybody asking questions. One of those questions is why is the New York Times colluding with Media Matters right ahead of a major election to try to ban conservative voices? Check this out. The New York Times reported. Now, you may notice something interesting here is that when you look at it full screen, I had to use a reader because it's on a paywall. What is this? You have everybody here hanging out, and there's your boy right there in the top right corner. They said that we committed the terrible crime here at the Gateway Pundit. I committed the terrible crime in general of saying that the law cases against Donald Trump are lawfare. They're not legitimate. And for that, they think that this entire platform should be deplatformed, including everything that I'm on. But why they targeted the Gateway Pundit directly also comes with attacking one of our main journalists, Jordan Conradson. They attacked him in his reporting of the election, basically calling him an election denier. We'll see if that's actually true. It's remarkable how these publications have literally no shame. They're the biggest purveyors, in my opinion, of fake news. The New York Times is literally a propaganda outlet, but let's see what they tried to say here on their attack on the right-wing media. It says here that in June of 2023, YouTube decided to stop fighting the most persistent strain of election misinformation in the United States, the falsehood that President Biden stole the 2020 election from Donald J. Trump. Within months, the largest video platform became a home for election conspiracy theories, half-truths, and lies. The intern became a source of revenue for YouTube, which announced growing quarterly ad sales on Tuesday. During 4 tumultuous months of this year's presidential campaign, researchers from Media Matters for America, a literal hate group for far-left activists, although I added that in myself, he said it's a group that monitors information from conservative sources, aka a far-left deplatforming outlet. Examine the consequences of YouTube's about face. While Media Matters is a partisan organization, at least they admit that regularly criticizes conservatives, reporters and academics frequently cite it as a source on YouTube misinformation because it devotes significant resources to tracking the vast platform. The New York Times independently verified the research, examining all of the videos identified by Media Matters and determining whether YouTube placed ads or fact-check labels on them. From May through August, researchers at Media Matters tracked 30 of the most popular YouTube channels they identified as persistently spreading election misinformation to analyze the narratives they shared in the run-up to the November election. The 30 conservative channels posted a total of 286 videos containing election misinformation, which racked up more than 47 million views. YouTube generated revenue for more than a third of those videos by placing ads before or during them, researchers found. Some commentators also made money from those videos and other monetized features available for the members of YouTube partner programs. Commentator included elected officials such as Rudolph Giuliani, who disputed the results of the 2020 race. Journalists like Tucker Carlson, who said the last presidential election was stolen, and popular pundits like Ben Shapiro, who said that Democrats rigged the voting rules in 2020. Now, it's to no surprise when you look at something like this that they would come after us, right? I mean, this is what the New York Times does. They say that, look, I don't have the prettiest face. They say politics is Hollywood for ugly people. I get it. I know that. I didn't do this because I wanted to look fancy on the front page of a hit piece. I did this because I care about the truth. And all of us here at the Gateway Pundit are dedicated to bringing you guys the reality of what's going on in the world. Yes, in many ways, we definitely are a right-leaning outlet, and we're very open about that. But what does right-leaning mean today? It means what? Caring about unborn children? About traditional families? It means about wanting a fair and regulated economy, removing the power of foreign lobbies and wars overseas, perhaps in many ways also turning a about face on these anti-American sentiments by woke leftists across our university campuses. I mean, being a right wing just means that you're pro-America today. So I don't think there's any shame in that. And I wish more people would be not embarrassed to say that they are and stop playing this middle ground libertarian centrist route. But I digress. Now, the intention of this article was entirely to deplatform everybody. It looks like YouTube is actually hanging on by the thread saying, well, in 2019, they released a similar article. New York Times, YouTube capitulated, banned almost everybody, or at least greatly affected their channels, caused extreme censorship. We saw that across the board with people like Sargon of Akkad, which now goes by Carl Benjamin, and many, many others who were censored for saying truthful things. But what does this mean about the New York Times and the fact that they released an article like this and YouTube says, look, we're not going to just censor all of the main criticizing voices of left-wing establishment just because you don't like what they have to say. In fact, they say what we're saying is misinformation, but we all know that it's not untrue. We're actually speaking to truth to power, and the reality of what we're saying is backed by evidence. The 2020 election was indeed involving fraudulent activity, and also, some might say it was rigged just on the very basis of the collusion of the institutions in that one famous hit piece where all the social media companies admitted to working together to stop Trump, and when the FBI was caught working with social media companies to stop the Hunter Biden story from somehow blooming past its original debut on the New York Post. So this attack on the Gateway Pundit remains strong. I bring this up because they didn't just go after me. I said they went after one of our great journalists, Jordan Conradson. With these individuals who are doing incredible work for the publication, it makes you wonder why 7 days before an election, they would not only come after us, but so many of our colleagues, friends, and members of the right-wing media in an attempt to smear, destroy, and somehow take us for granted, and thinking that if they could remove us off the internet, what would happen? Well, I think they've already tried that before, and it looks like we got a Donald Trump when that happened, and they had to rig the 2020 election to prevent him from winning again. And they'll do it again this time. Please stay vigilant. That being said, an additional story here that I want to bring up that I think is vital and crucial. But obviously we know that there's one person that they have censored more than anybody, and that, of course, is my good friend Mike Lindell. Now, Mike Lindell runs MyPillow. You know, on top of that, he's used his resources and his money to fight election, fight against election fraud. He's been fighting for election integrity. So stores are starting to also cancel him right before the election. But their loss is your gain. For the first time ever, right now, while leftists are trying to cancel this company, now they have a surplus. So there's a standard classic MyPillow that you can get at wholesale prices, only $14.88. That's $14.88. But you have to use my promo code Elijah, ELIJAH, at mypillow.com. It gets even better. For a limited time, they're going to offer their entire classic collection at wholesale prices. Get a queen size MyPillow for just $18.88. Upgrade to a king size for only $1 more, and get the body pillows for $29.88. Multi-use MyPillows for only $9.88. And by the way, the limit is 10, plus you can get free shipping on orders over $75. Use my promo code ELIJAH at mypillow.com, MyPillow.com, or call 1-800-210-8491. Check it out today. $14.88, that's amazing. Our next story is inconclusive, but the one that got away. Joe Biden looks completely dejected after a young girl flees his pawing hands at a White House Halloween party. It turns out that he's back at it. There was a sad scene last night at the Biden White House. After sucking the toes of 4 babies, Joe Biden failed to grope and paw a pretty little girl in line for candy. Poor Joe, he looked so sad and dejected. He just doesn't have the same old moxie of his youth. After years and years of groping women and children that was totally ignored by the fake news media, Joe has lost his mojo. And don't be too concerned. He made up for it by sucking the feet of several babies. This is not even a joke. I did watch the videos. They have it here. Check this out. It's quite bizarre. It's from PBS News Watch. Now, I understand being playful like that with one of your own children, but being like that with other people's kids, I just don't think you should be putting the feet of any child in your mouth, especially like, you know, it's like if you want to play with your kid and play, you know, Monster or whatever. I have several kids. I know that it's fun to do so and to wrestle or whatever, but like, don't do that with other people's kids. I think we can all agree on that one. That being said, in additional news here, something quite interesting. Third County in Pennsylvania finds fraudulent mail ballot request forms from Field+Media firm. District Attorney and General Office are now investigating. Check this out. Election fraud concerns continue to grow in Pennsylvania as officials from Monroe County reveal new findings of fraudulent mail ballot request forms, making this the third county to uncover such irregularities. Monroe County District Attorney Mike Manusco announced Tuesday that several mail-in ballot applications were fraudulently submitted, with at least one case involving a deceased applicant. Now, investigations trace the source of these unauthorized requests to Lancaster County-based Field+Media Corps, a subsidiary of Arizona's Field Corps. The investigation, when Monroe County's election board conducted a standard review, uncovering around 30 irregular forms, which then were referred to the DA's office. The firm has been actively engaging communities of color in Arizona, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and California since 2017. According to its website, Field+Media Corps is a consulting firm involving strategic field and media operations that include voter registration and other campaign electives. Now, it's no surprise in the midst of this that we are in a very difficult position, and it is important to realize that not only are we finding fraudulent activity, but we're also finding it in duplicates. So be prepared this election season. A couple of stories that we don't have time for today that I just want to mention by name. Jimmy Kimmel ended up telling a sick joke promoting suppression of Trump voters. He actually told them to vote late. Of course, the FBI won't be investigating that, but you'll have to get that directly on our website. Plus, it appears that a top Kamala surrogate, Mark Cuban, insulted millions of women after Biden garbage comment, claims that no strong, intelligent women can support Trump. So now we have two leftists getting desperate, trying to thwart right-wing voting and telling you not to vote. So if you're a woman, you're strong and you're intelligent, get out and vote on election day. Make your voice heard. And men, please go to the polls. It's vital that you do so. My name is Elijah Schaffer. Thank you so much again for watching the Gateway Pundits Week in Review. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. It helps us out a lot. If you want to read the rest of the stories, get the videos, you can do so at thegatewaypundit.com. Have a great rest of the week as always, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.